rocket like rocket fuel.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Cougars and the Sacramento Miners. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Chicago Cougars and the Sacramento Miners. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Well, here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Second and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. They'll look to throw here. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the third down conversion. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4. Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 9-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll drop the throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try to run this one in. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were able to stop him at the line on first down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination. And they got it done on the second try.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Let's go, team. Big Sears right here.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here is the home side to take over on offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
On first down, Witherspoon. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he will find his man on the outside.
Let's go. Let's do this.
These two teams all tied after 1.
Ready. 57. Here we go, T. Get off the field.
They'll run on first down. Witherspoon. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Here we go.
On second down now, Witherspoon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
57 to Mike. Target.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. Looking to throw. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up. But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game but just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On play action, they'll throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Witherspoon. They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. Nothing too fancy there, a simple toss left, but for whatever reason, the defense, they didn't seem ready for it.
Let me continue on with your thought right there, because after the play was over, I kept my eyes on the defenders. Watch them get off the ground, going back to the huddle, shaking their heads, and kind of pointing to each other like, what just happened there? I think you were onto something.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. 2nd and 1. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good to make it 17-7. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. Of course, he's coming off that monster game in their wild card victory, but that's his first catch here in the divisional round. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On 3rd down, Frederick. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This fourth and final matchup on this divisional round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC divisional round game. But first, let's take a look back at action from earlier. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Right back to him on first down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Set, ready? 60 outlaw. Go.
On second down, Witherspoon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So first and second down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner.
Let's go, defense.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, Frederick. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Switch it, switch it, switch it, come on, switch it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll keep it on the ground. Stanton. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it won't be easy.
Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This quarterback now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's a first down throw that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Come on, QB, come on.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And his kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On 2nd down, Frederick. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Let's go,
That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there. hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a two-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
At this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out. Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Witherspoon.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Boy, a tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Set, ready? 8, read. It's a party now. It's a party now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he rifles one incomplete. The offense on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is indeed good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll look to throw. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. He's back to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. And yes, he's into the end zone, so they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll check on his status when we get back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only 1 period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. A huge play there in overtime. Give him 55 yards on the ground. So the first drive here at OT and a huge run not only gets them into enemy territory, but into the enemy's red zone.
Remember, this used to be field goal territory. Go ahead and kick it, win the game. Now, You've set yourselves up for the touchdown. What a promising start for this drive.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this down only to the 18. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Now a first throw here in overtime. His throw caught at about the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll drop the throw. And this is caught. It's a touchdown in overtime, and they are marching on to the playoffs. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.